edit review. Bossman said to drop it because it's never too late. We all know who Bossman is. Me, because I'm the best. I'm just joking. Anyway, Sam here, the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, posted an edit. Now, this is very special because Sam, I don't think, has posted an edit like before. I don't think so. I don't think he's posted an edit before, but he has now. Let's say that I was not disappointed, and neither are you. So let's watch it. Now you know why we're not disappointed, because that was insane in the membrane. All right, cool. Let's have a look. Let's actually be serious about this. So I'm gonna run off a list of things that I thought he'd done absolutely phenomenally, and things that you should ask him about. Number 1, motion blur, done flawlessly. Best motion blur. It's so perfect. Number 2, the quality of these clips. I think he's done some post quality messing around, but regardless, the quality is just absolutely beautiful. Number 3, the effects he's got going on here. You see this? You see the Toyota badge coming in? It wasn't even there before. You can see the bonnet's gray as it comes in. It wasn't even there. The bonnet is literally dead gray. There's nothing there. And then the Toyota logo comes in and it's there. That's insane. That's the sort of stuff that you're really going to take into account when making effects. He literally took the logo away but didn't leave a black patch. He put bonnet there. That is insane. And it matches the lighting, the sun, the clouds, and all that stuff on the bonnet. It matches. That is fantastic. That wheel transition was pretty good. He's got the shake and everything. Yeah, it's pretty well known now, transition, so I'm not going to bother with it. Now, like I said ages ago, I absolutely love it when people don't transition every single beat. And if you don't know what I mean, this is what I mean. You see how that clip stays there for 3 beats? Oh, I love it. All these transitions were done perfectly. We should definitely question him on his quality, his motion blur, his little twitch, the little hits on the beats. You onto his graphs, but graphs are pretty universal. Another thing is he's got some creativity going on here. He swapped between the cars. I love that. The stabilization is also just insane. Like, he's done everything, the basics, just perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. So let's recap. Motion blur, perfect. Effects, flawless. Quality, insane. Transitions, goated. He is just popping off with this thing. Definitely question him without a doubt. Now, you may be going, Kalen, what is possibly wrong with this? I'm going to answer your question. And don't take this as a hit to the guts, because this is still a goated edit. Probably one of the best ones I've seen produced inside so far. All right, so now I'm going to pick apart what's wrong so that we can improve and grow together. The first thing that I pick out is this. And honestly, 3 seconds in is not too bad. Usually I can pick something out almost instantly. Most people said it. This was like 3 seconds in. That's pretty good. Now, my problem with this is we'll slow it down so that everyone can see. That's double speed. The round was too harsh. What was happening is he's come around like this, but he's come around too much. At the start, the wheel was kinked back too far, just a little bit too far. I'll show you what I mean. So onto the wheel. So you see where he comes back. He comes back from on this side of the wheel, on this side almost, to all the way to the front. It's just, there's too much twist going on here. I would have cut that clip and started halfway in the middle. You know what we might even do? I never used to make these videos in After Effects because my After Effects was slow, but now I've upgraded and it's deadly fast. So this should be actually pretty good. I never thought of this actually. So sick. Let's full screen this baby. Nice. All right, cool. This is perfect. All right, cool. So what I'm talking about is right here. You see how it's twisted that direction? This is too far back, way too far back. Because look, if we go through frame by frame, so look, we'll go through frame by frame. We'll show you something. So we start here. The next frame jumps to the 90-degree angle. There is so many more frames missing in between the 9-10 frame, right? These two frames, there could have been, it's cut too far. I wonder if I really want to make sense. So here to here is too much movement cut because of the speed ramp. See, it's basically, if we cut out these 3 frames right here, we just jumped from, actually, this is a good example. So you imagine, right, we got these 3 frames right here. Imagine if we just deleted them and it was just straight to here. So it's like that to that. That's basically what this looks like now. It's cut way too much at the start. So we've cut out too many frames. So I would have personally started from here anyway, and just come out like that, and I think that would have looked a lot smoother. I think I see what he was trying to do though. With the way that the wheel's angled, he was trying to line it up per se. Which makes sense, but I think he would have been. We could probably, for him, just cut this. See, me just cutting that out made it a lot better. If anything, even I would have maybe even done it from down here, because then the wheels literally are matching the same direction. Yeah, I would have done that. See, now the wheels are matching the same. You could have even done it from here. Even, like come out like that and come around. Yeah, I like that. That looks cool. That looks a lot nicer. That definitely looks a lot nicer, cutting out all that. And another thing is, if you got a big movement right here, you don't have to have a massive movement over here. Like if we look at this, let's mute this. See, it doesn't have that much movement, but it looks smooth because there's still some movement. It still looks pretty good. So that's the first thing that I caught out. All right, let's keep watching. I am noticing in here, it's zooming in right there. It kind of zooms in a bit and it zooms back out again. I don't know if that's a stabilization problem, but that is something I would work on because it does it here too. Keep watching. This was cool, but you could have matched these 2 clips better. And what I mean by that is this right here. So let's drag this across. You could have had this back clip. So I've opacityed this one. So this clip here, this one here, you could have had come down and match. You could have zoomed in technically. And this is one thing that I learned literally almost today, is if I match this behind, what I can do here is add a null object, parent these both, everything's going to be 3D, parent these both up to the null, and then what I can do with the null is in the middle of the transition, for example, like let's say we want it to like transition right here. So what we do is we like match up this part like right here. All right, so what we do is now we've got both the nulls parented. You like keyframe the opacity from like 0. Sorry, on this one from like 100 to 0 on the transition. So that way this thing shows. And what you do is you just use the null and you make a little transition that comes up to the car like this. So yeah, right, so we matched them and then we like keyframe the null to come up into the car like that. And it's like that. Obviously, Obviously, there's a lot more masking and that sort of stuff, but like the basics of it is like you use the null to gain up to the other part like this. It's how they make those really smooth transitions on like the anime edits. They parent them both to null and they do a nice little transition. They actually do a mask and then they feather mask it. They don't use the opacity tools. I can actually show. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. That's it. Come back. It's actually something I'm trying to implement at the moment into one of my edits. Don't clown me for this. I'm trying. Okay, let me look. Hold on. This is actually the transition I'm in the midst of messing around with, and that's why I cannot understand how this is done. Let's let that real quick. It's not that great, but anyway. So I've got a mask on this clip here. It's inside the comp, but there's a mask here basically, and it starts fading, and they're both all parented up to the null. And so as the null moves, the fade increases, and then they go together really seamlessly, is the best way to probably put it. But yes, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I do gotta mess around with that a lot more because it doesn't look the freaking best just yet. But yeah, that's what I would do for that transition. Or just make it a bit smoother after you do it. Kind of. This here was cool. I like how he swapped over, but I would have messed around the keyframes a bit more, made it a bit smoother if possible. Same with that wheel. That was a bit random. You went into the wheel. See, that's one thing you gotta look out for is when you're here, you turn the card this way. You went, oh gosh, you went this way, and then on this clip, right, you were going this way. So they collide with each other. It does not work. See, that worked beautifully, and you know it did. Now, that there, but what's happened is you were doing it the correct way. You were twisting this way. Dang, that was a horrible error. You were twisting this way. Damn. And then here, you were twisting the correct way, but not for long enough. It was only for 3 frames. 3 frames isn't long enough for your brain to comprehend, so it doesn't look that smooth. To any untrained eye, to any eye at all, actually, I should say, it looks like what you've done is you've started this transition, and then it's shook, and then it's jagged over to the car. It doesn't actually look like you've finished the transition. And again, speed ramping. I wouldn't do these sorts of transitions where it's got heaps of movement like this so quickly. I understand you were trying to hit the beat, but sometimes you gotta skip a beat to make the transition look good. And again, you were twisting this way, and then here you're twisting this way. Just doesn't look. What you can do is you could have time reversed it. That was a bit weird. I don't know what you were trying to do there. I think you like didn't have a clip of you panning to the yellow car, but you wanted to be on the yellow car. Which in that case, you just could have done. Am I being trolled? Have I not just deleted that 3 times? Why is the key coming back? Surely I'm being trolled, bro. Being trolled by After Effects. I delete. Bring this over. Yeah. Even know. I just don't think that transition sequence worked all that well. because you went to the yellow wide car and then you clicked to the yellow. I don't know what you could have done to fix that and keep those two clips the same. I don't think you could have done much, to be honest, because it was just a bit of a weird sequence. Yeah, actually, I know this is a rule, right? I need people to understand this as well. This entire time I've been talking about like the rotations and crap, twisting this way and then twisting this way and like hitting each other and blah, blah, blah. So that rule doesn't always apply. Like right there, it doesn't apply. You don't know when to apply it. It's mostly with twist effects, mostly with like when you roto brush around, like, that's when it applies. Again, just a little bit too far on the wheel. It was better, but I would have started just straight up from here. I could probably even. I'm actually getting trolled by After Effects, but why isn't it doing it? I'm actually being trolled. I don't know. I think it's because I'm in a but again, that was a bit weird because of the speed ramp. You come around, the wheel like kind of stopped, and then it transitioned. I would have just like, I want to try and do it because I'm sick of After Effects trolling me. Cut the start it. Yeah, it's each west. The song looks smooth. It looks smooth, especially that. You probably even kick it like here. And then kick this one like here. Nah, that looks like shit. But anyway, yeah, I would have kicked it like that. That looks a lot better. And I'm assuming this loops, but I'm not too sure. It does. Oh, loops so nice too. Yeah, cool. All right, and that is my review. Overall, I give you like a solid. I'm not going to give you a number because that's stupid. But I think you've done fantastic. You definitely got it down. But towards the end is where I actually think a lot of your fuck ups are. You either got so excited you tried to do things and messed them up, or you got lazy. It was one or the other. But in the end, it's insane. It's a great edit. There was just like one of the things. They're easy fixes, honestly. You could probably go in there and have all those things fixed up in 10 minutes flat. I'm looking forward to see what we do next, bro.